Hello kids, how are you all? So from today we are going to start chapter number 5. The name of chapter number 5 is separation of substances. Yes, can you see the name? Chapter number 5, separation of substances. So you can write down the name in your notebook. Okay, you can see two picture. Can you see? In one picture you can see a man. What is he doing? He is separating small pebbles from grains. Yes, small pebbles from grains. And in second picture you can see the man is preparing tea, and you can see the drop of ice. Can you see? Okay, so in this chapter we are going to study that if two things are mixed, then how to separate them, here making tea and converting ice into drop, it is actually the example of evaporation and condensation. We will get to know about it. Okay, we'll find about it. Okay, so before we start the chapter, whatever we studied in chapter number 4, let's revise. Okay, then we will move on the chapter. Okay, ready? Let's begin. So kids, in chapter 4 we studied about the materials. Yes, what are materials? And in this chapter, in chapter 5, we will study how to separate mixed material. If two or more material are mixed, how to separate them. So what are material? We know that a material is a physical substance used to make things. Yes, a material is a physical substance used to make things. Yes, it is used to make things. Metals, plastic, ceramics, glass, fiber. These are some category of material. Yes, these are the material which are used for many purpose. For example, gold. Gold is used for making jewelry. Yes, am I right? Glass is used for making window and many other things. Yes, am I right? So if we look around, everything we see is made from material. Yes, if we look around, everything is made from material, sometime more than one. Yes, suppose if I talk about mobile is made from different things. Yes, it is made from many things. It is made from plastic, it is made from metal, there are many things, glass. So may be possible a material sometime may be made from more than one thing. Okay, so remember, a material is a physical substance used to make thing. Okay, remember, a material is a physical substance used to make thing. If you did not attend the previous chapter number 4, you can write down now. Okay, I am giving you 10 seconds. Okay kids, I hope you understood. And we also discussed about the properties of material. Yes, we discussed material properties in chapter number 4. Let's see once again. Have a look. Let's move on to the next point. Okay kids, let's revise properties of material, or you can say material properties. There are many properties like metallic luster, you can see on the screen, hardness, softness, smooth, rough surface, solubility, and transparency. Yes, am I right? First is metallic luster. Luster means you already know the meaning of luster is shining. Yes, am I right? The meaning of luster is shining. And metallic luster, some material have shining. Yes, some material shine and some materials do not shine. Yes, which material shine? Metals. Metals always shine, while non-metals do not shine. Yes, remember kids, metals shine while non-metals do not shine. Okay, and which are the metals? Can you give me the example? Think and tell me. Yes, can you tell me the examples of metals? Yes, gold. Yes, silver. Yes, copper. Yes, these are metal which always shine. Yes, am I right? And if I talk about non-metals, yes, non-metals do not shine. There are many non-metals like carbon, yes, coal, sulfur, and gases. All the gases are included in non-metals. So some material shine and some material do not shine. This is the first property. You can say metallic luster. Okay. Second is hardness or softness. Okay. Some material are very hard and some material are very soft. Yes. Actually, those material which cannot be compressed and cannot be scratched easily, they are hard material. And material which can be easily compressed and scratched, they are known as soft material. So can you tell me, can you give me the examples of hard material and soft material? Yes, stone. Stone is hard material. Yes, am I right? And if I talk about soft material, I can give example of eraser. Yes, eraser is it? And our skin, it is also a soft. Okay. So second material property is hardness and softness. Okay. Some material cannot be compressed and scratched easily and hard. Examples iron, copper, and some material appears smooth on touching. Example glass, rubber. Okay. Next is smooth and rough surface. Yes, actually different materials have different surface. Different materials have different surface. Some materials have smooth surface and some materials have rough surface. If any material has smooth surface, it means you can easily scratch it. But if it has rough surface, then it will be very difficult to scratch it. Okay, material which can be pressed easily are called soft, while some other material which cannot be pressed are called hard. For example, cotton is soft while wood is hard. Okay, I hope you understood. Let's see the next property. Let's revise next material property, that is solubility. Actually, what is the meaning of solubility? I told you in the previous class. Let me again tell you. Okay, solubility means the ability of being dissolved. Yes, how much a material can dissolve in liquid. Okay, that is the meaning of solubility. So on the basis of solubility, we can say material may be soluble, insoluble, miscible, immiscible. Okay, what is the meaning of soluble? Substances that are dissolved in water are called soluble substances, or you can say material which can dissolve in water, they are known as soluble. Okay, and insoluble material which cannot dissolve in water, they are known as insoluble. Okay, or you can say substances that are not dissolved in water are called insoluble substance. Okay, can you give me the example of soluble substance and insoluble substance? Yes, it's easy to guess. Sugar can easily dissolve. We can dissolve it in water easily. Yes, am I right? And if I talk about salt we can easily dissolve. It will not take more than few seconds. Okay, so they are the example of soluble. And if I talk about insoluble substance, let me give you the example of soil. Yes, soil is the best example. You cannot dissolve in water. Am I right? Okay, next word is miscible. Do you remember what did I tell you in previous class about miscible? Yes, those liquids which mix well with water are said to be miscible in water. Yes, miscible are actually those which can mix well in water. You can easily mix them in water. But immiscible are those which you cannot mix well with water. They are known as immiscible. Okay, and you know, solubility of gas. If I talk about the solubility of gas, solubility of gases in water is very less. Yes, gases, all the gases do not dissolve in water. They dissolve, but not in too much quantity. Okay, so solubility of gases in water is very less. Okay, can you give me the example of miscible and immiscible? Yes, miscible, the mixture of water and lemon juice, this is miscible, and the mixture of oil and water, it is immiscible. Am I right, kids? Okay, I hope that you understood. And one more property, if I tell, transparency. Yes, the ability of being seen. Yes, so transparency, on the basis of transparency, we can divide material into three groups: opaque, translucent, and transparent. Opaque, translucent, and transparent. We discussed about opaque, transparent, translucent in previous class. Do you remember? So what are opaque material? Material through which you cannot see at all, they are known as opaque material. Material through which you cannot see at all, they are known as opaque material. And translucent material, material through which you can see but not clearly, they are known as translucent material. And if I talk about transparent material, material through which you can see clearly, yes, you can see completely clearly through with them, they are known as transparent material. Okay, can you give me the example of transparent, translucent, opaque? Transparent, if I give you the example of transparent, clean water and clean glass, they are the example of transparent. And if I talk about translucent, dirty water and dirty glass, or you can say colorful water and colorful glass, they are the example of translucent. And if I talk about opaque, you can give the example of plastic, wood, stone, they are opaque object. Okay, now let's see one more question, then we will discuss our chapter. Okay, let's move on to the next point. Okay kids, can you see the question? Why is copper suitable for electrical wiring? What property must it have? Why is copper suitable for electric wiring? Yes, why do we use copper as a wire? Because it is good conductor of electricity and it is very strong. Yes, it is good conductor of electricity, it is strong and it is malleable. It is malleable. What is the meaning of malleable? Malleable means the property of any material by which it can be converted into wire. If you can convert anything into wire, it means that material is malleable. If you can convert anything into wire, it means that material is malleable. And why do we use copper for electrical wiring? Because it is good conductor of electricity. Yes, do you remember what is the meaning of conductor and insulator? Can you tell me? Yes, conductor means those material through which electricity can pass, and insulator means those material through which electricity cannot pass, they are known as insulator. Yes, so through conductor current can pass, through insulator current cannot pass. Now can you give me some example of conductor? Gold, silver, copper, yes, they are good conductor. And which is the best conductor? Which is the best conductor of electricity? Can you tell me? Yes, the best conductor is silver. Silver is the best conductor. And insulator, there are many examples of insulator. Your slipper, rubber, plastic, they are insulator. Wood is also insulator. Water, is water conductor or insulator? Water is conductor. Okay, I hope you understood. Now let's begin our chapter. Okay kids, chapter, let's start the chapter. The name of chapter is separation of substances. Separation of substances. So first question you can see on the screen, what is separation? What is separation? What is the meaning of separation? What is the meaning of separation? What do you mean by separation? Separation means removal of substance from a mixture of two or more substance. Suppose I have prepared tea. I have prepared tea. So which things are mixed in tea? In tea, tea leaves, sugar, they are mixed. Yes, milk. But it is a mixture. It is a mixture. So if I separate them, if I take out them, then this is known as separation. Okay, so separation means removal of substances from a mixture of two or more substances. Separation means removal of substances from a mixture of two or more substances. Please write down. I am giving you 10 seconds. Okay, so please try to memorize the spelling of separation. Please check out the spelling. What is the spelling of separation? S-E-P-A-R-A-T-I-O-N. Yes, S-E-P-A-R-A-T-I-O-N. Separation. It is not S-E-P-E-R-A-T-I-O-N. It is S-E-P-A-R-A-T-I-O-N. Okay. So you know meaning of separation. Separation means removing substances, or you can say removing materials from mixture. Okay, if you cannot learn this definition, which definition you can see on the screen? You can see on the screen the definition. Separation means removal of substances from a mixture of two or more substances. If you cannot learn this definition, you can simply learn removing of materials from a mixture. Enough. What is separation? Removing of materials from mixture, or you can say removing of substances from mixture. I hope you understood. Now let's see the next point. Okay kids, we know that there are many instances when we notice a substance being separated from a mixture of material. Tea leaves are separated from liquid with a strainer while preparing tea. Yes, I already gave you the example of it. Yes, we separate liquid using strainer. Strainer means channi. Okay, so we separate liquid from strainer with the help of strainer while preparing tea. Yes, you can see in the picture we separate liquid. Yes, and we separate small stone from wheat by hand. Yes, we separate by hand. Yes, do we separate? Yes, we separate. So I want to tell you one more thing, kids. You no need to write this one. Okay, you don't write. Only write the example which is written in last 3 lines. You only write the example which is written in last 3 lines. I am speaking those 3 lines. Tea leaves are separated from the liquid with a strainer while preparing tea. Write only this line. Which line? Tea leaves are separated from the liquid with a strainer while preparing tea. Okay, this is the example you will write. Or you can write example if you know any example. Can you give me the example of any separation of substances? Can you give me the example? Separation of substance from a mixture. Can you give me the example? Yes, we can separate salt from water. We can separate salt from water. This is also example. So you can also write this example. You can write separation of salt from water. Separation of salt from water. Okay. Don't write upper 3 line. Don't write upper 3 line. Write lower 3 line. Which line you will write? Tea leaves are separated from the liquid with a strainer while preparing tea. And you can write any other example if you know. If you know any other example, you can write, no problem. Okay. No problem that you will write the same example. No need to worry. Okay. Now let's move on the next point. Kids, now let's discuss why do we separate substances? Why do we separate substances? Yes, why do we separate them? Why do we separate? What is the reason behind it? There are 4 reasons. Reason number 1. Reason number 1 is to obtain 2 different but useful components. Yes. Suppose if I mix salt in water, you cannot drink it. If salt is mixed in water, can you drink? You cannot drink. So, but if you want to drink water and if you want to use salt in vegetable, you will have to separate them. If you want to drink water, if you want to use salt in vegetable, then you will have to separate them. So first reason is to obtain 2 different but useful components. To get. Obtain means to get. To receive. Obtain means to get, to receive. Okay. To receive 2 different but useful components. Second reason is to remove non-useful component. Yes. Suppose in water soil has, if water has soil, what will you do? How will you separate? Yes. You can use sedimentation and decantation process. By sedimentation and decantation, you can separate them. So, because soil is not useful. Can you drink soil with water? You cannot drink. Yes. So, what will you do? You will have to separate it. You will have to separate soil from water. So, because soil is non-useful component, so what will you do? You will remove non-useful component. Okay. Third reason is to remove impurities or harmful component. Yes, if you want to remove impurities or harmful component. So there are many impurities. Suppose if I mix sugar in water. Maybe some people don't like it, so you will have to separate it. So it has become impure water because of sugar. Because of sugar. So sugar is actually a kind of impurity. Sugar is a kind of impurity. Okay. So to remove impurities or harmful components, yes. Okay. Suppose if your water is dirty, what will you do? You will have to boil it. You will have to boil it. So if you will boil it, all the germs will kill. Then you can drink it, because germs are actually harmful components. Germs are harmful component. So what will you do? You will have to boil it. When you will boil, all the germs will kill within 10 minutes. So third reason is to remove impurities or harmful components. Okay. Next is to group substances of different size. Yes, if you want to make group, suppose you have many notebook, you have many pencil, you have many pen, and all the things you have put together. Then how will you separate them? How will you separate all the things? You will separate rubber on one side, you will separate pencil on one side, you will separate notebook on one side, you will separate pen on one side, and you will arrange in order. You will arrange in order. You will make group. You will make group of pen, you will make a group of pencil, you will make group of notebook, you will make separate group. Otherwise they will not look good. So these are the four reasons. Why do we separate substances? To obtain to different but useful component, to obtain to different but useful component, to remove non-useful components, to remove non-useful components, to remove impurities or harmful components, to remove impurities or harmful components, and last is to group substances of different sizes. Okay, please write down. I am giving you 10 seconds. Okay kids, so I hope you understood the meaning. Why do we separate substance? For reason number 1, to obtain to different but useful components. Reason number 2, to remove non-useful components. Reason number 3, to remove impurities or harmful components. Reason number 4, to group substances of different size. Okay, now let's move on the next point. Okay kids, now let's talk about the types of substances. Yes, types of substances. Actually there are many type of substances, but mainly we can divide type of substances into two groups. Yes, we can divide all the substances into two groups. Yes, first is pure substances, second is mixture. Yes, first is pure substances, second is mixture. So why do we separate? We actually separate to get pure substance. Yes, suppose I have mixture, so why will I separate? I will separate because I want to get pure thing. That's why I am separating. Yes, if salt is mixed in water, how will you drink? You cannot drink. You need pure water that you can drink. So you will have to separate the mixture of salt and water. You will have to separate them. Then you will get the original substance. Then you will get pure water. So pure water, pure substance. What is the meaning of pure substance? Pure substance actually has only one type of components. While mixture, if I talk about mixture, mixture has different kind of components. Yes, mixture have different kind of components. Okay, a mixture can have germs, dust particle. If I talk about air, air is mixture of different gases. Yes, am I right? Air is a mixture of different gases. Yes, can you tell me the name of some gases? Can you tell me? Yes, nitrogen, oxygen, yes, carbon dioxide, yes, very good. Anything else? Ammonia, yes, and hydrogen, helium. These are the example of gases. Yes, so air is mixture of different gases. So in air many gases are present. It is a mixture of gases. While pure substance, but if I take them separately, then they are pure. Okay, so there are two type of substances, pure and mixture. Okay, so pure substances has only one type of component and mixture has different kind of component. You can write down, okay? Please write down it, okay? And I'm giving you few seconds, you can easily write down, okay? And try to draw the diagram. If you wish to draw the diagram, you can draw, okay? If you don't want to draw, then no need to worry about it, okay? Because it is not the part of your chapter, okay? Okay, kids, now let's begin the new topic, method of separation. Yes. Now we will try to find the answer that how to separate substances from mixture. How to separate substances from mixture. Yes. So there are few methods of separating different substances from given mixture. Yes, one of the method you can see on the screen. Yes, can you see it? What is the name of first method of separation? The first method of separation is hand picking, okay? Hand picking. So the name, as the name suggests, that if you want to separate any substance, any material, anything from a mixture, you will separate using hand, okay? You will separate manually, okay? So it is the simplest method of separation of substances. Hand picking is the simplest method of separation of substances. This method is used only when unwanted material is in small quantity. Yes, when unwanted material are present in small quantity, then you use this method. And actually, in short, if you want to separate solid from solid, if you want to separate solid from solid, in that case you use this method, means hand picking, okay? Moreover, shape, size, color of the unwanted material is different from that of useful material. Yes, maybe the unuseful material may be small, maybe useful material may be small. So for example, pebbles, broken grains and insects are separated from rice, wheat and pulses by hand picking, okay? So usually, if you know farmers, they generally use hand picking method. Yes, may be possible that your mother do the same thing. They separate pebbles or broken grains or insects from rice, wheat and pulses, okay? So this is the method of hand picking. You can write down, I'm giving you 10 seconds. So kids, I hope that you understood the method, hand picking method. This is the first method. It is the simplest method of separation of substances. This method is used only when unwanted material is in small quantity. Moreover, shape, size or color of the unwanted material is different from that of the useful material. For example, pebbles, broken grain, insects are separated from rice, wheat, pulses by hand picking. Okay, I hope you understood. Now let's see the next method. Okay, its next method of separating is threshing. Yes, threshing is used for separating seeds from the harvested stock. Yes, this method is used by farmer when they want to separate seeds from the stock. Yes, actually there are different kind of threshing. It may be manual threshing, it may be machinery threshing or threshing by animals. Okay, so what is threshing? The process of separating seed, from chaff, or you can say from harvested stock, is known as threshing. You can write down this definition. I am again speaking slowly. The process of separating seeds from harvested stalks or chaff. CHAFF. Spelling of chaff is CHAFF. Chaff or stalk, both are same. Okay. The process of separating seeds from harvested stalk or chaff is known as threshing. Okay. It is generally done manually or threshing by animals, and right now nowadays we use machine to separate it. What is manual threshing? What do you mean by manual threshing? When the quantity is small, threshing is done manually. Yes. If you want to separate seeds in not too much quantity, in a small quantity, that time you can use manual threshing because it will not take too much time. Otherwise, if you have huge amount of stock, harvested stock, then it will take too much time. Okay. So when the quantity is small, threshing is done manually. Small bundles of harvested stock are threshed on a hard surface. This helps in separating the grains. Yes. So how to separate, how to do manual threshing? Farmer strike it on hard surface. Farmers strike the small bundles of harvested stock on a hard surface, so seeds are separated. This is the method. This helps in separating the grains. Okay. Next is threshing by animals. Threshing by animals for larger quantities. Yes, if you want to separate larger quantity, threshing is done in the traditional way by using animals. Yes, actually in ancient time, people used to do separating seeds by this method. Nowadays, farmers do not use this method. Okay, they spread the bundle of harvested stock on the road. When any animals, buses go over it, then seeds are separated. So for larger quantities, threshing is done in the traditional way by using animals. For this, stalks are spread around a pole. Several bullocks are tied to the pole and are made to walk over the harvested stock. Next is threshing machine. Yes, nowadays we use machine. Threshing machine we use. Yes, nowadays threshing machines are used for this purpose. It can be powered by either a diesel engine or for electric motor. Yes, machine is powered by diesel engine or electric motor. It saves our time. It helps in saving time and labor also. Yes, you no need to do too much hard work. So this is the best method of separating of seeds from harvested stock. Okay, let me give you 10 seconds. Please write down. So I hope kids you understood the meaning of threshing. Threshing is used for separating seeds from harvested stock. Yes, why do we do threshing? Why do we use it? Threshing is used for separating seeds from the harvested stock. Manual threshing, when the quantity is small, threshing is done manually. So small bundles of the harvested stock, or you can say harvested chaff, are threshed on a hard surface. This helps in separating the grains. And threshing is also done by animals. For larger quantity, threshing is done in a traditional way. Okay, usually spread it on the road. Okay, and another way is stock are spread around a pole, and several bullocks are tied to the pole and are made to walk over the harvested stock. Okay, threshing machine. Nowadays, threshing machine are used for this purpose. It can be powered by either a diesel engine or electric motor. It helps in saving time and labor. Okay, so which is the best method? Machinery method is the best method. Okay, now let's move on the last point. Okay kids, it's time to ask question from you. You can see two questions on the screen. Question number 1. Explain hand picking and threshing method. Explain hand picking and threshing method. So we use different method of separation. Yes, different method of separation. Hand picking, what is hand picking? Hand picking is the simplest method of separation of substances. Yes, hand picking is the simplest method of separation of substances. This method is used only when unwanted material is in a small quantity. Yes, we use hand picking only when unwanted material is in small quantity. Moreover, shape, size or color of unwanted material is different from that of useful material. Yes, actually unwanted material are different from useful material. Yes, the shape, size and color is different from useful material. So we can easily recognize and we can easily separate using hand. We can easily pick by hand. Okay, so just picking by hand, it is known as hand picking. Hand picking means just picking by hand. Okay, separating, sorting out using hand. Okay, for example, pebbles, broken grains and insects are separated from rice, wheat and pulses by hand picking. Okay, next method is threshing. I have already explained about it, but let me explain you once again. Okay, threshing. What is threshing? What is the definition of threshing? The process of separating seeds from harvested stock is known as threshing. Or you can say the process of separating, the process of sorting out seeds from harvested chaff is known as threshing. Yes, threshing is used for separating seeds from harvested stock. And there are different kind of threshing: manual threshing, threshing by animals, threshing machine. What is manual threshing? When the quantity is small, threshing is done manually. Small bundles of harvested stock are threshed on a hard surface. Yes, threshed on means strike on. Okay, this helps in separating the grains. Next is threshing by animals. For larger quantity, threshing is done in the traditional way by using animals. For this, stalks are spread around a pole and several bullocks are tied to the pole and are made to walk over harvested stock in a circle. Okay. Next is threshing machine. Nowadays, threshing machine are used for the purpose. Can be powered by either diesel engine or electric motor. It helps in saving time and labor. Okay. Next question is, why do we separate substances? Yes, why do we separate substances? There are many instances when we notice a substance being separated from a mixture of material. Tea leaves are separated from the liquid with a strainer while preparing tea. So, why do we separate them? Why do we separate them? What is the actual meaning of separation? First, let me tell you the meaning of separation. Separation means removal of substances from a mixture. Removal of substances from a mixture. Or you can say removal of substances from a mixture of two or more substances. Removal of material from a mixture of two or more material. So there are 4 reasons of separation of substances. Reason number 1, to obtain two different but useful components. Yes, first reason is to obtain useful but different components. Yes. Reason number 2, to remove non-useful components. Yes, if you want to remove non-useful components which are not useful, you will use method of separation. Next is to remove impurities or harmful components. Yes, with those substances which are not pure, means impure, you will have to remove them. I have given today a lot of example to you. Or you use this method to remove harmful components. Okay. Next is last point is to group substances of different size. Yes, if you want to make group of different size, if you want to make group of different compounds, then you use separation of substances. So there are 4 reasons. Reason number 1, to obtain two different but useful components. Reason number 2, to remove non-useful components. Reason number 3, to remove impurities or harmful components. Reason number 4, to group substances of different size. So today we discussed the meaning of separation, example of it, why do we separate substances, type of substances, there are two type of substances, pure substance and mixture, method of separation, hand picking and threshing. In next class we will discuss some more method of separation, okay, like winnowing, sieving, okay. So we will discuss all these in next class. We will meet in next class. Bye bye.